another thing.
I slept with Mr. Jeon. I spoke while drenched in my pool of tears to my bright friend sitting across me, who was sitting like that for more than half an hour in order to hear the reason behind the tears of mine. You did what? Yeah, I did right. I nodded while muttering. Meanwhile, she seemed too shocked to speak. How? Why? Stop beating the bushes around why and tell me exactly what has happened. He told me he wanted to discuss something regarding towards my father. I was confused because Mr. Jian said the case was closed and I said the same to the officer. But he kept saying there are some details he need to close the case. I sobbed as Elena engulfed me in a hug and rubbed my back. He never bothered you in this whole month, right? He didn't. I even forgot about him. He came out of nowhere last night. He didn't let me. He threw my mobile away. I was scared because I thought I lost it. But then I fell away, lifted away from me, and I heard a loud thud. When I opened my eyes, I saw Mr. Chion. I didn't know what has gotten into me, and I asked Mr. Chion to replace the officer's smile and mark with his own. I don't know why I did that, but I agreed when he asked for my permission, and we did it. The problem isn't that I did with him or he wasn't there for me in the morning to give me aftercare. I did, yeah, but the problem is he is freaking married. I met a married man to cheat on his wife with me. You weren't in your mind, but he was. If he didn't want that, he wouldn't ask for your permission. Instead, he would immediately deny and left you, but he didn't. You didn't force him. He did that with you in his sense. Yeah, I know, but I'm the girl he cheated with. It's killing me from inside. I'm feeling like I lost my self-respect. Why it's always me, Elena? I braid my hair while sitting on the couch as Elena sighed before sitting beside me. Just do anything but spill out the truth from her mouth, whether feed her money or blood. I want news within an hour. Got it? Jungkook in three-piece black suit was making his way toward the chair placed in the meeting room. He had kept his man with you secretly. Yesterday his man saw you going in hospital and you came out tense. And today you went again but after reaching to the hospital you were crying. So he asked his man to get the info from hospital. Jinhyang, what's with that officer? He's getting the best treatment of his life, but still he didn't tell me the reason behind this. He spoke while taking his seat as the other three nodded in agreement. Then you must focus because I didn't explain you again. Yeah, why you kept taunting me? I only asked you for a few times. He drawled while pouting. Then count those few times on your fingers. Lost the count? My fingers finished. I only have 10. Yeah, how's with you? You have a better plan. Let's start with you. Namjoon Hyang, I'm in a hurry. Yeah, Mingyu. For real? Good. He stood up on his feet in an instant and rushed out without giving a moment to his young that they could inquire about anything. No way I'm telling him. I can't. I mean, in these 3 weeks, I didn't even get a glimpse of him. It's mean he must be thinking it was a mistake or whatever, but he must be regretting that. So, how do you think he would accept the baby? Every night you go to bed feeling regretful and guilty. For the past week, you have been feeling nauseous. So, you went for a checkup yesterday and found out you're pregnant. But he has to know because this baby is also his. He's equally responsible for this. Alina rolled her eyes and huffed before sitting across you. For God's sake, stop thinking about this relationship. You're not responsible for his ruined relationship. I'm tired of telling the same thing again and again. Be selfish for this moment, got it? Then tell him you can. Tell him that you have discussed about the abortion with the doctor and she said no, as it will risk your own life. After debating with yourself all night, you decided to talk to the doctor about the possibility of having an abortion. I never imagined that I would be that much confused, sorrowful, and remorseful for my baby's arrival. Abortion would be also hard for me as a mother, but I didn't want to make my baby survive along with me, where I messed up in my own. Now you have to put the baby up, Ryan. Don't worry, there is still a lot of months till the baby's arrival, until we do something. Even if Jeon wouldn't accept the baby, I'll help you to put up the baby up, and I promise the baby will grow in a way you always want. You both broke the hug at a sudden deep voice and looked towards the door and saw Jungkook standing there with his same poker face. You looked at Elena in surprise before standing up as he walked towards you. Take yourself on, we are going, he said nonchalantly as Elena gave him puzzled looks. Where are you taking her? My mansion. My man area help them to pay once stuff, and if you want to come meet man, then come along with my man. He directed to Elena in monotonous tone, who gave him a bewildered look while your gaze was switching between both of them. As soon he finished his word, you felt a grip on your wrist that caught off guard. When you saw that grip was his, you got goosebumps. You aren't coming with mine? His voice was deeper than ocean, while his eyes that was set with much more intensity were piercing your soul. Your words got stuck in your throat, despite you wanted to speak, but you felt like your tongue got cooked. It didn't take long in drive, and now you're standing in the living room. Throughout the whole drive, you didn't utter a word. Your fear didn't let you. The man who was sitting beside you wasn't an ordinary man, but a most very crude mafia. You got goosebumps again when you felt a cold palm on your warm wrist that was bare as you were wearing the crop top. You were beyond shocked, but he seems unbothered and kept talking on the call while leading you inside the mansion, resting his hand on your waist. After making you sit on the couch, he spoke as you nodded in agreement, even though you wanted to talk right at the moment, but you feared to say anything. Miss Lynn, bring the stuff I asked you for, he ordered to the woman in the middle age. You looked at the front in amusement as few maids with tea trolleys full of kind of fruits, snacks, and many other things were standing in front of you. One of the mid-aged women came forward and bowed to you. You were turning surprise, reading a note from maid, but you shook your head. I don't want anything. I'm not feeling like to eat. No, ma'am, you have to. He strictly ordered us. If you'll not eat, he might scold us. So please at least choose one of them. An instant smile came on all of the maid's faces as the headmaid took a glass of juice from another maid. As you were about to take the glasses from headmaid, it caught a snatch by someone else that caught your eyes, and you find a blonde girl all dolled up. What? Are you referring to me, miss? Yeah, obviously, because I don't think there is anyone who is mannerless as much as you. You spit bitterly, which angered her up as she stood on her feet. She slammed the glass on the table before leaving the living room as he gulped. She's like this. She sometimes brag about Master and being his wife, even though Master don't like it. Well, you seem close to Master, that's why I'm telling you. My life has never been good, or it was until my mother was alive. From past 5 years, everything changed to worse. After I lost my mom in my 17s, my father got depressive after my mom's death, and he had to leave the job which he was doing for Mr. Jeon Jungkook. My father asked Mr. Jeon for a job as a driver, but according to Mr. Jeon, he would have felt bad seeing he's one of the best workers as his personal driver. So he offered my father to be personal driver for his son, Jeon Jungkook. Thankfully, Alina helped him a lot with my study expenses. I was somehow surviving, but then I got another problem in my life. My father got into an accident as he was driving while being drunk. He never drive while being drunk, but I don't know why he did that day. I left flabbergasted as soon as I heard the fine amount, but I didn't have a choice. I was already going crazy while thinking how I would pay hospital bills. Alina was also out of the country that time, but his father was there with me, but he had to go for his work. He mentioned that Mr. Jeon had commanded it all and was expecting me in his office to discuss about my father. Not that I agreed with Mark easily to go with him there, but Elena's father came and told me that Mark was trustworthy enough to go with. Before I could inquire her protest more, he added that if you don't want help or if you want payback or whatever related to this matter, inquire from my father once he'll be back to the country. Right now I just did what he asked me to. Now you can leave. After spending a whole month, I went back to my apartment only to get almost by that head officer who had come for the investigation of my father's case. He didn't give me the good vibe that time in the hospital, but I ignored that. I couldn't sleep. Moreover, I own some answers from you. Ask whatever you want. I'll answer if it would be much confidential. Okay, so how did you get to know about my pregnancy, and also how did you reach at my apartment that night? My men around you. That night, they informed me about the officer as they found his sudden visit at night suspicious. That's how I reached your apartment. Also, my men informed me about your visit to the hospital as you seemed tense to them, so they made doctor blurted out the info, and I got to know about your pregnancy. Were you stalking me? Hey, no, it was just for your safety. My dad asked me to arrange some man around your apartment as you would be living alone. And after that night, as one tragedy has already happened, I asked my man to follow you. Did I ask you for that? I wanted to ask this loud, but what if he found that rude? He won't waste a second to cut my tongue, and if I see from other side, it was good for me, right? If he hadn't put the security for me, I would have gotten. I don't want to think about that. Wait, are you planning to blame me? If you are, then better you shouldn't, because I've asked for your permission many times before doing that, and every time you said yes. Yeah, but I mean, why you did that? He murmured in a monotonous tone with his cold visible on his face as he sighed. Why did you bring me to your house? You're married. It must have ruined your relationship. You don't have to worry about my relationship. It's my matter. Maids will be around you for 24/7, so feel free to order, eat, and do whatever you want. Make yourself home. If you ever need me, then call me. He let out all with his poker and same stern and boring voice as I hummed. Not that I was expecting from a man like him to say we forget father's love. What about your wife? Will she accept this? I told you, just stay out of this matter. My words got cut off by the abrupt jerk on my back that moved me closer towards him and earned a gasp from me, but my breath caught his when I found him a mere centimeter away from me, gazing intensely into my eyes. With that, he left my waist and walked past me while I was frozen. My thought he didn't shout or anything. His voice was simply deep and stern. That made me tremble. I thank God infinite time for saving me from this angry bird.